Excellent, excellent, excellent. So here we are once again. We are getting ready to do another video. And today's lesson is going to be on the palabra. So I'm just burning a little bit of sage. A little bit of sage. It's a little leaf of sage, as a way to purify and to prepare this sacred lesson that I will be sharing with you. Yes, to do some cleansing, right? Now, so the topic today is the Palabra Lesson, okay? So we are going to discuss what the palabra means, which is word, tlatoli in Nahuatl. But the palabra is something that we are going to discuss in this topic, educational support video on the palabra. Hey, holidays are coming, right? So the holidays are coming soon. Tomorrow is going to be Thanksgiving. Being thankful for everything, right? But Christmas is almost here also. These traditional celebrations that have taken place for so many years. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Okay, beautiful. Okay, now, so so that's going to be the topic today. Okay, the palabra. So the palabra. So everybody got this this handout that I sent you, or that I gave you. So and it says right here, the palabra word is a ceremonial application during our healing circles toward personal balance and healing. So the palabra is applied when we do the talking circle with the sacred talking stick, which this is a representation of the sacred talking stick. Okay, I made this one time ago, and also here we have another sacred talking stick. So, and as you can see, we have yellow, we have red, we have black and white and green. So there is a meaning for the colors in this case, okay? So the meaning of each color represents the 4 directions. For example, yellow represents the east, and it represents a spiritual balance. And a spiritual balance has to do with reconnecting with who you are within your heart. When you do meditation, when you do reflection, when you reconnect with your higher power, or when you reconnect with Mother Nature, or when you reconnect with the universe, the stars, the sun, the moon, the galaxies. So, but the first direction, which is the east, in my experience, I want to say is the first one, is a spiritual balance. Has to do with reconnecting with who you are once again. Has to do with reconnecting with who you are within your heart, within your spirit, within your mind. Doing meditation and reflection. So in psychology, there is something called mindfulness exercises. Within the psychotherapeutic approach called or known as DBT, or dialectical behavioral therapy approach. So this method has to do with being present, being mindful, doing breathing exercises, breathing in and breathing out is a way of, staying calm, staying focused, refocusing on your thoughts and your feelings, and fostering that vision, because the east represents also the sacred animal, the eagle. And the eagle represents a vision, that we should be able to create a vision of what we really want. As a man of word, as a noble man of word, what is your vision? What is your strong desire within your heart, within your mind? What is your deepest and your consistent feeling in regard to what you really want? So that's within spiritual balance. That's within DBT or dialectical behavioral methods. That has to do with mindfulness. That has to do with being present. So once again, the ego represents love and represents for us to foster a vision of what we really want. Remember, the ego is one of the birds that is able to fly the highest and able to see from far away. So, and the invitation from this direction is we are invited to have a vision. To have a vision of success. To have a vision of sacredness. To have a vision of wealth. To have a vision of prosperity. To have a vision of abundance. To have a vision of personal balance and healing. To accomplish and to be successful. So the east also represents the three B's that I call. I believe in myself. I believe on what I want. And I believe on my vision and mission to accomplish what I strongly desired within my heart. But we are to be consistent. Listen very carefully. We are to be consistent, deeply consistent with that feeling of desire, with that feeling of what you really want. Yes. So, as we discussed previously in other sessions, consciously we think and we desired that something. But we just not only think and desired, we are to be consistent with that thought, with that vision, and with that feeling of that which you want to accomplish. Then that message, as some experts and some experienced individuals teach about the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind, as we already know, is very powerful. It's like the engine that is going to manifest eventually, little by little. That's something that you want, that's something that you wish, within your vision, within your heart, within your desire. So now, then the south, which is red, represents emotional balance. And emotional balance has to do with the continual process to learn how to regulate our emotions, how to, identify our emotions in a good way, how to identify those emotions, and then be able to express them in the right way, in the right condition, in an assertive way, through assertive communication by the application of I statements. I feel happy, I feel sad, I feel angry because this, and that. So, an example would be I feel disappointed when I experience you talking to me in that tone of voice. I would appreciate if you will talk to me in a more respectful way, so we may talk and discuss our needs. That would be an example of I statements. That would be an example of assertive communication. The opposite is going to be you are making me upset. You are making me angry, and you better stop doing that. So those are you statements. That way of communication is not healthy. Is not recommended. So once again, we go to the south, right? Which is emotional balance, emotional regulation, self-regulation. Previously, we have discussed about the lights or the traffic lights, the representation of the traffic lights. And those lights have to do with those lights have to do with the green light, the yellow light, and the red light. So when we see the yellow light, the green light, we can go, right? We can drive safely and cross. Everything seems to be okay, calm, peaceful. But when the light is yellow, the yellow light let us know that we need to be ready to stop, that we need to be ready to apply interventions, calming techniques, taking time outs, breathing in, breathing out. And we want to use the wise mind. We want to implement the reasonable mind and the feeling mind to the center, which is the wise mind. And the wise mind has to do with being reasonable in the right and appropriate way, making decisions that will bring not only a benefit to ourselves, but also to other people in a good, healthy way. So, going back to emotional balance, red, we have the coyote. The coyote represents humbleness. The coyote always reminds us to be humble, to acknowledge our mistakes, to continue doing our best to move on to the next level. We make mistakes all the time, but that's not the problem. The problem is that if we don't acknowledge our mistakes and we don't learn from those mistakes, then it's going to be very difficult to accomplish our deepest desires, our deeper desires, our vision and mission to accomplish That's something that we want. So humbleness is required to acknowledge our mistakes and to open up our minds to learn from our mistakes and from the feedback of other people. So the Coyote then reminds us to be humble. The Coyote then reminds us to explore ways of looking for solutions in a consistent way. If a solution is not available right now, we don't give up. You don't give up. You keep looking forward. You keep, knocking doors for those doors to be open. Now, the West is represented by the color black, and the West represents physical balance. So we want to continue taking care of ourselves. We want to continue being as healthy as possible. If you drink alcohol, I strongly recommend you to start decreasing alcohol until you stop. Once again, I strongly recommend you. The West invite us. The West, the direction of the West, invite us that if we drink alcohol, to desire strongly in your heart to decrease alcohol until you stop it. That's the invitation. So, alcohol does more damage than good. So, I may want to say that most people who drink alcohol, in a way that they depend from alcohol, suffer from depression and from anxiety. To some degree, they are coping with tiredness, stress, anxiety, sleeping problems, emptiness, depression, but they don't know. Okay? They don't know because alcohol is not allowing them to be fully conscious of other ways of coping with depression, anxiety, emptiness, tiredness, or sleeping problems. As examples. Now, eating healthier, it's also a recommendation. So because then we might start developing, diabetes, high cholesterol, high blood pressure, or any other, physical condition. So the recommendation is to continue taking care of ourselves, but also to create a safe environment. The West, the direction of the West represents the bear, the sacred animal, the bear. And the bear teaches us to always create a safe space for us and for our family. A sacred space free of violence. No screaming, no yelling, no domestic violence, no abusing, no assaulting, but being loving and caring, being compassionate to our partners, to our children. That's the teaching from the West. And the bear teaches us to create a consistent, safe environment for our families, violence-free. And the north, which is white in this case, represents mental balance. Represents mental balance. Mental balance, I want to say, is the significant, healthy, stable mental balance, I want to say, is the significant and continual stability from a spiritual balance, from emotional balance, and physical balance. And then we have mental balance. Your strengths, your potential, your patience, and your continual desire to continue doing great. The north represents wisdom, represents knowledge, represents understanding, knowledge. And also it represents the elders. The west represents the parents, adults, or young adults, parents. And the south represents teenagers. And the east represents children. But we also have the element of the east also represents the grandfather son. The south represents sacred mother earth, and the west represents sacred mother water, and the north represents sacred father wind. And the spring, the east, the south, the summer, the west, the fall, and the north, the winter. See? It's a representation of a variety of factors and healing experiences. So isn't that beautiful? Now, palabra. So every time in our healing circles we say palabra, we take the talking stick, and through the talking stick, whoever holds the talking stick has within his hands the sacred power of words. Only the one who holds the stick may speak, but must speak the truth about personal understanding and experience. So when we say palabra and we hold the stick, is the moment to express our thoughts and feelings, to express our cargas, baggage, to express our concerns and worries in a safe space, but also to express our regalos, gifts, great news, progress, accomplishments. But also through the palabra ceremony, we convey our intentions. What is your intention when you do the palabra? What is your desire? Why do you gather? Why do you come to the healing circle? What's in your heart? So now, palabra signifies the profound representation of your integrity and dignity as a noble man with word. Oh yes, because you are speaking from the heart. You are familiar with the following sayings Would you keep your word? I give you my word. Didn't you give me your word that you were going to do it? You are a man of your word. So palabra then means to speak the truth from your bottom of your heart with honesty and genuineness, and to express respectfully and assertively your needs. From this assignment, from this lesson, please look for a dried stick, right? Just, if you go to the mountains, way much better. But of course, you may not be able to go to the mountains. I go to Sequoia Park in Yosemite, and with permission to Earth Mother, I pick up the sacred stick all the way from over there. With permission. I got this one too. And the feather, represents balance, equilibrium. Represents the significance to continue looking forward to improve personal balance, spiritual balance, emotional balance, physical balance, and mental balance. As you can see the other colors, right? Here too. So now, for this assignment, please look for a dried stick that is already on the ground. Ask permission from Earth Mother and pick it up. Once you have it, decorate the stick and have it ready for your next class. While you decorate the talking stick, you want to make sure to think about what it means to be a man of your word. What does it mean to be a noble man with word? So what does your palabra mean? So I believe, you have this one, or you can go to, the web page, which is called www.riocounselingcenter.com. www.riocounselingcenter.com. And of course, and you get the handout that I have right here, and then you write down, in the spaces of the circle, what does your palabra mean, right? You write down right here, what does your palabra mean? What does your palabra mean, right? And of course, there is an assignment to complete after participating in this video or watching this video, which is Microsoft Forms. Please go and complete the assignment. So you are familiar with it. I mean, if you participate in my healing circles, right? In my healing circle ceremonies. Currently, we are doing it online, virtually. I mean, we do it live online sessions. So we are present, and we do the palabra also. So we don't stop. We keep looking forward to improve, to learn, to heal, to balance ourselves, to continue doing great. So then let's breathe in. We continue doing great. We continue doing wonderful. Huh? We continue doing great. We continue doing wonderful. One more time, breathe in. Peace, prosperity, abundance, wealth, health, balance, equilibrium. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your participation. And let's continue doing great, violence-free, loving and caring to our families, wives, husbands, children, family members, friends, and something to remember. Let's be thankful, very thankful. And let's be thankful to Earth Mother. Always thankful to Earth Mother. It's our home. It's our place. We are thankful. See you next time.